Imagine waking up one morning and hearing these words.
So we have a winner for the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
Hello everyone, here from Nairobi.
FIFA has officially awarded the 2026 FIFA World Cup to Kenya. Within seconds, the world erupts. Millions of football fans begin searching for flights to Nairobi. Construction companies race to build stadiums. International media descend on Kenya. And for the first time in history, East Africa becomes the center of the football universe. But here's the question. Could Kenya actually host a World Cup? How much money would it cost? Would FIFA build the stadiums? And would Kenya become richer or fall into massive debt? Today on Best of TV, we're diving into one of the biggest football what-ifs ever. What if Kenya hosted the 2026 FIFA World Cup? Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to Best of TV for more football stories, alternate histories, and unbelievable what-if scenarios.
So we have a winner.
Now let's imagine. It's 2022. Instead of awarding the tournament to the United States, Canada, and Mexico, FIFA makes a shocking announcement. Kenya will host the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The entire country celebrates. Social media explodes. The streets of Nairobi fill with fans waving Kenyan flags. But after the excitement comes the reality. The World Cup is the biggest sporting event on Earth. Hosting it requires world-class infrastructure. And Kenya would have a lot of work to do. The first challenge would be stadiums. A World Cup requires several modern stadiums capable of hosting tens of thousands of fans. Kenya currently has stadiums such as Nyayo National Stadium and more, the International Sports Center Kasarani. However, FIFA standards for a World Cup are much higher. In our scenario, the government would launch the largest construction project in Kenyan history. Kasarani would likely be expanded into a 90,000-seat national stadium. This stadium could host the opening ceremony and possibly the final. Nyayo Stadium would undergo a complete modernization. New stadiums would likely be built in Nairobi, Mombasa, Kisumu, Nakuru, Eldoret, and perhaps even Machakos. Imagine a modern coastal stadium overlooking the Indian Ocean in Mombasa, or a futuristic football arena in Kisumu beside Lake Victoria. These stadiums would not only host matches, but become symbols of a new Kenya. But here's where many people get confused. Would FIFA pay for all these stadiums? The answer is mostly no. FIFA contributes funding, organizational support, and shares revenue from the tournament. However, host nations are usually responsible for building most of the infrastructure themselves. That means Kenya would need billions of dollars for stadium construction, road upgrades, airport expansion, railway improvements, hotels, security systems, telecommunications. In reality, FIFA brings money into a country, but the host government carries most of the construction costs. And as we all know, the Kenyan government is full of people with hungry stomachs, so as sure as the sun will rise in the morning, most of that money will go missing. This is why hosting a World Cup is both an opportunity and a massive financial risk. Next comes transportation. Millions of visitors would arrive from every corner of the world. Jomo Kenyatta International Airport would likely undergo major expansion. Additional terminals would be built. High-speed transport links would connect stadium cities. Roads leading to stadiums would be widened. New bypasses would be constructed. Kenya's railway network could receive significant investment. Imagine football fans traveling from Nairobi to Mombasa on modern trains packed with supporters from Brazil, Argentina, Germany, and Japan. The atmosphere would be incredible. Now let's talk money. At first, the economic impact would be huge. Construction alone could create hundreds of thousands of jobs. Engineers, architects, electricians, drivers, security personnel, hospitality workers. Restaurants would be full. Hotels would be fully booked. Tour operators would be overwhelmed. For 1 month, Kenya would be the center of global attention. The country's tourism industry could receive exposure worth billions in advertising. Images of the Masai Mara, Mount Kenya, Diani Beach, Lake Victoria, and Nairobi's skyline would be broadcast worldwide. Many businesses would benefit enormously. But to be serious, who would really benefit from this? Is it the politicians or the contracts we will give to China to build our stadiums? Or every stakeholder wanting a piece of the cake? But now comes the difficult part. Would Kenya realistically be able to host the 2026 World Cup? Probably not.
And here's why.
The timeline would simply be too short. Building multiple FIFA standard stadiums takes years. Major transportation projects can take a decade or more. The financial burden would also be enormous. Even wealthy nations sometimes struggle with World Cup costs. For Kenya, spending billions of dollars on stadiums could create serious debates. Some citizens would argue that the money should instead go toward healthcare, education,
Housing, roads,
water projects, and job creation.
Ati wewe tu umekuja ngumu.
Others would support the investment because of the potential tourism and economic benefits. The country could become divided over whether hosting the tournament is worth the price. History has shown that some World Cup stadiums become underused after the tournament. This is one of the greatest fears for host countries. Imagine building a massive 80,000-seat stadium that only fills a few times each year after the World Cup ends. Maintenance costs can become a huge burden. The challenge would be ensuring that every stadium remains useful long after the final whistle. But let's imagine everything succeeds. It's July 2026. The World Cup final arrives. Kasarani Stadium is packed with 90,000 fans. Billions are watching worldwide. The Kenyan flag waves above a stadium glowing beneath the Nairobi night sky. The entire world is talking about Kenya. For one unforgettable month, football has united the globe on Kenyan soil. And regardless of who lifts the trophy, Kenya has already won something even greater, a place in football history. But what do you think? Could Kenya ever host a FIFA World Cup? Would the benefits outweigh the costs? Or would the financial burdens be too great? Let us know in the comments.